Hello, good evening. Um, my name is Augustine, and I'm here to give a very brief live broadcast. And first of all, I would want to say my sincere apologies. I've not been consistent in my live broadcasts. Reasons why I haven't been consistent is because I've been encumbered by a number of things. And I know that a good number of the TBC broadcasters has really worked hard. I've been studying the TBC community, I've been watching the blog, and I think we have really improved so far. So for those of us that are going to be part of my video, I welcome you. And as much as possible, going forward this year, I'm going to try to make sure that I will be consistent in my videos. And I want to see how I can help in pushing the TBC community forward. Well, today's date is the 23rd of January, 2019. And in this my video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show us some things that I've noticed within the TBC community. Now, for those of us who are coming in, please feel free to subscribe, feel free to like my videos. Especially on the part of liking, I would do appreciate it if you can like my videos. It actually makes me happy. You know, at least a good number of people see the likes and they are happy that a good number of people at least has enjoyed their video. So like I said, I will try as much as possible to be consistent in my videos. Even though I'm not so consistent on a weekly basis, at least during the weekends, I will try as much as possible to be consistent on that note. All right, so let me come into the topic of my video or of my live broadcast. Now, the title of my topic is, do you know we are building our constitution within the TBC community? Now, a good number of us may be asking, what really is our constitution within the TBC community? Now, I'm going to show you quickly what our constitution is and the process of what is happening or how the admin is building us as a community. You know, a good number of us within the TBC community are ignorant. We do not know what is happening. A good number of us do not know what is happening. You know, most of us just come into the TBC community, they pay their $10, and they're just sitting back to watch. You know that the admin clearly said that if you are not willing to work within the TBC community, then don't expect to make any gains. If you want to make gains, then make efforts, work. As long as you are willing to work, you are going to make gains within the TBC community. To work is not going to be difficult. It could not come in. It's, you know, within the TBC community, a good number of us, we have wallets, but we are just dormant. Yes, a good number of us are looking forward to see when our community will begin to blossom. You know, the way our community is going to blossom, it's not going to happen all of a sudden. It would need joint cooperation from every member within the TBC community. If you are in the TBC community, you are in the area of medicals, you're in the area of health, you're in the area of engineering, you're in the area of accounting, whatever area you find yourself, I want you to understand that you could actually play a part, even if you are not able to do much. At least make people understand that TBC is going to be a complementary financial system in the near future. That's one important thing a good number of us should know. TBC is going to be a complementary financial system in the near future. In this my broadcast, I am going to share my screen with us. And there are a good number of things I'm going to bring to our attention. So please feel free and then enjoy your time with me, okay? All right. Okay, so now I'm sharing my screen. And the first thing I would like to call our attention to, is on the merchant side. Okay, now on this area of the merchant side, we see that there has been a little modification. For those of us that hasn't been consistent within the TBC community, you'll, you'll find out that um, a new tab has been added, merchant locations. Now, I'm onto you live from Nigeria, and in this particular one, the admin has made it very clear when we started or when we launched. Officially, we launched on the 11th of 2019, January. Now, when we look into this merchant site, we'll find out that there are all manner of countries from all over the world. Okay, now there is no exception. Every country, I think, on this earth is here. Well, I wouldn't want to go into those details. One thing is certain, over time, you would find out that people will come to know about TBC, and naturally they are going to key themselves into the system. Now, a good number of us may not have understood how finance works within the world. For those of us who are ignorant of it, please, I would want you to make our time and go and study this book, Creature from Jekyll Island, Jakyll. When you're able to read that book, you'll be able to have an idea of how the financial system was built or construed, because it wasn't like that from time. At a certain point, they broke up the gold backing. And when they broke up the gold backing from the reserve currency, which is dollar, what then happened was that currencies were allowed to float. And then people were, or the Federal Reserve was able to print money out of thin air. That had been a challenge they fought to bring into power or into place over a long period of time. But you see, as they kept trying and they kept trying, they kept meeting resistance. And I think at one point or the other, they tried to build up one and it was brought down. Well, the whole details of everything shall be discovered or understood when you look into Creature from Jekyll Island. You have an idea of why the purchasing power of money by the day continues to depreciate. And it will continue to depreciate until a point where you will find out that you would not have the purchasing power of your money will be so low. You wouldn't be able to use your money to do anything worthwhile. You may need to have so much of it to be able to purchase anything worthwhile. Now, you will find out that for those of us that are in Nigeria, it's not an easy thing to have a land. Some of us say when you want to have a land, what you do is, or when you want to have an asset, what you do is you invest in land. When you invest in land, then you are going to be able to have assets. Well, in my own opinion, I think land has a stable value. What actually goes down is money. Money, the purchasing power of money continues to go down by the day. That's the reason why you need more and more money to be able to purchase a land. And you know, most of us are now comfortable with it. Now, so far on the merchant side, these are the progresses we've had so far. And I said that I was going to show us how the admin is building our constitution. But first of all, before I do that, I am more concerned about Nigeria. I'll show us quickly about Nigeria and quickly about India. These are the two countries that I see that are really pushing within the TBC community to see that there is a difference in the world. Now, in Nigeria, you'll find out that we have 36 states. Let's see how many states that are available. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. We have 19 states out of 36, meaning that we are actually moving forward. By the end of this year, I'm so certain, we are in January 23rd. By the end of this year, we should have the 36 states. Not only the 36 states, in every state, they are also going to have reasonable number of merchants in each state. Now, let's give an instance. In Lagos, when you come into Lagos, you'll find out that there are There are two states now two cities in Lagos. The first one is Ikorodu, the second one is Lagos. Now, when you look into Lagos, you'll find out that these are the number of merchants currently now available. These are little compared to how many we are going to be in another 6 months from now. And you will find out that the majority of these merchants are still young men that are just coming into the TBC community. And you see, there are some big shots that are watching us. They are watching how our system is growing. When they see that there is now an exponential growth, where we are coming in numbers of 500, 1,000 on a daily basis from all over the world, you'll find out that these merchants will come on board. When they come on board, then the next thing they are going to do is they're going to feature themselves as merchants. They will feature themselves as merchants to be able to exchange a certain percentage of kringles and a certain percentage of cash for exchange of goods and services. That's exactly what they are going to do. In another few years from now, in another few months from now, it's going to start materializing. Now, the goal of the admin is to see how we can get to a reasonable number this year. Now, admin's goal is to see if we can get to 1 billion verified members. Well, everything is possible. It all lies on us, members of the TBC community. If we are willing to make it a reality, then it can become possible. But if we choose to dilly-dally, what happens is that we may not get to our goal. Yes, our goal as 1 billion. So this is just an instance of the people within the TBC community. They are just a few. Over time, they are going to appreciate. Numbers will continue to grow. Okay? And apart from numbers growing, there will be competitors. There are some people that will be dealing on a particular goods, and their charges is going to be possibly 10% kringles, 90% cash. A competitor could come in and then say, okay, since this my competitor is charging 10% kringle, 90% cash, I will choose to charge 20% kringle and 80% cash. Now, what would happen? It's simple. The moment this one charges more kringles, this one charges less kringles, people would want to identify with the person that charges more kringles because he's promoting the TBC community. So it's only normal for them to align themselves with such people. And that's exactly how competition will begin. And over time, the community will continue to grow faster, merchants will begin to come in, and then people will be exchanging goods and services. By the end of next year, I think TBC would have gotten to a very reasonable number. I have no idea how many it will be, but one thing is sure, it will become so obvious that you can give anyone TBC for exchange of goods and service, okay? Now, that has been said. So the next thing I am going to quickly go into now is public notice. I know that a good number of us may not have taken note of it. Now, in our public notice, which is what I've just come into now, there has been a new system or a new addendum. We are familiar with public notice. We should be familiar also with article of association. For those of us who hasn't read it, kindly make our time to read it on your own. We are aware of the mission statement, but I don't think a number of us are aware of these secrets. Now, I think you should take your time to look into these secrets. This secret is this particular one. And for those of us who do not know, it is necessary we take our time to read this. Now, there was something that the admin said, and I would like to read it out. Then I would lay a little emphasis on this. And then I touch one or two things concerning the blog, and I'll call it close for today. So, quickly, I will come into this particular clause that the admin talks about. So let me read it out. And it's on this ground that the Pantera to issue this particular article to us. And I don't know how many of us has looked into it. Please, if you haven't looked into it, make time out, look into it, study it. This contains a good number of information, sacred rites of execution and record. Take your time, study it, and digest it. You may not need to rush over it. Take it slow and steady. Understand what it's all about. It may take you a while. It's not necessary you should exhaust it in one day. But if you can exhaust it in one day, you may need to go about it again and again to comprehend it properly. Now, let me quickly go into that place and read. Now, let's continue. As private as a private society, the Kringle Private Society has full authority to create its own form of governance. Its own form of governance, that is its government. It has the right to create its own government. A good number of us will be asking that when there are disputes that come up, which court are you going to give it to? Or which court are you going to meet to settle such disputes? It's simple, Pantera Bureau courts. Now, a good number of us are yet to come to terms with these facts. They do not know what it looks like to be able to judge or to come into a matter and then settle disputes when there are challenges or there are issues between one community member and the other. Well, we are still very young. We have a long way to go. Very soon we'll get to 4 million. Very soon, in another few months, we'll get to 5, 6 million. When we get to that number and 3 and much more, like 5, 10 million, you'll find out that naturally, as the community begins to grow, these things will begin to play out. So before we get to that point, we should establish the ground rules. That's why we have the right to govern our own selves. All right, so let me continue. We have the full authority to create our own form of governance, law form, our own law form, that's our own constitution. We have the right to create our own constitution. And we have the right to create our own courts, our own court system, and private treasury. Now, the question is, what do you think our private treasury is? Well, I reserve that. I do not yet know fully what this private treasury is. With time, I'll get to know. Some of us may say it's the wallet that is our private treasury. It could be that it's the wallet. Now, some of us will say it's the admin's wallet. I doubt if it's the admin's wallet. The reason why I say so is because admin has clearly said that the wallet will be emptied. Once his wallet is emptied, then it can't form a treasury anymore. The treasury is now going to be in the hands of the members within the community. The admin's responsibility is to make sure that there is law and order within the community using his government system or the government system of the community. I want us to also remember that TBC is not a democratic system. Let us understand that, because at one of admin's blog, he made it clear that your opinion within the TBC community does not really cause the TBC community to move in the direction you want. Majority of the opinions within the TBC community does not decide how the TBC community will move. In our normal government system, we make votes. When we make votes, majority carries the votes. Well, that's the system of the public, but the private system, no. Although there is room for an individual or a group of people within the community to air their opinions. Of course, the admin is human, he should be able to understand. And then if it is reasonable by him or by the admin commissioner and then the technical team, fine, then such can be put into power or put into law, as the case may be. So let me continue. Now, this will be established to better serve and protect the interests of our members, and will be available to every member for the settlement of disputes and other such basic principles of a balanced society of men, women, and children. It will take time to properly fulfill these requirements. I like that statement the admin is making. He's saying it's going to take a while, and that's what he's working on already. It's going to take a while to properly fulfill these requirements, and all members will be kept informed as to the progress thereof. Now, we request the understanding and patience of our members in this process, and that's the process that is currently being carried out. The admin has succeeded to a good extent in changing a number of things, and we are now being backed up by law. You understand that the system that the public is using to hold humanity in bondage are two things. The first one is the law system. Now, that is the legal system, and the second one As long as we are not within the jurisdiction of the law or quickly, and I'll call it a close. Then possibly before the week runs out, possibly Friday, I'll come online again and I'll also give a briefing. And this is Pantera Duoro, Court of Ecclesia, Sacred Rites of Execution and Records. Permission is hereby issued to publish these sacred rites in the public. Now, let's continue very quickly. Hear ye, hear ye, hear ye. To all to whom this present shall come, and to all to whom such presents do apply. Let me come again. To all to whom these presents shall come, and to all to whom such presents do apply. Let it hereby be known, verified, and resolved that, well, this is quite much, but I will just read this paragraph and I'll leave it there. Now, this is a sacred writ of execution and record issued pursuant to the notice of private status and standing by declaration in specific negative advancements declared and decreed by Kenneth Scott, who is the holder, the overseer of Pantera Duoro. Now, Kenneth Scott, House of Consents, and the common date known as 12th day, 11th month, 20018. That is 12th, 11th, 2008. And pursuant thereto, let it be known that on said date, the declaration was executed and subsequently delivered by international registered post to the following respondents with confirmed dates of receipts as noted and verified by USPS from 3811, now in the document custodian's possessions, and submitted to and received by the court of the ecclesia, henceforth quotes. Now, as evidence upon the records as private trust res for the billion coin, and a number of other things, H0 13442 subpoena trust. Well, I'm not a lawyer, I'm an engineer by profession. And these things has to do with a lot of technical terms, law this, law that. Well, one thing is sure, this information, I took my time to read it. And these are the respondents, those are the people that were able to get it. Now, there was something that admin said here. Now, let me see if I can read it quickly. If a failure to respond, rebut, or provide evidence to the contrary has now established the veracity and standing on the following facts upon the record, to wit. Now, this thing, take your time to read it. I wouldn't want to go into it in details. The record now shows the words incontrovertible facts that, take your time and look through. I wouldn't want to say much about it, but this is one thing that the admin deliberately did not bring to the public. He deliberately did not want the send button meetings to make it obvious. Well, maybe it's a kind of lawful thing, or it's a kind of, you may need to take your time to digest it. The reasons admin refused to make it public to the people is best known to him. But it's our responsibilities as broadcasters to make it known to everyone so that we can read, understand, and abide. That's as simple as it is. Okay? Now, I said I was going to quickly look into the blog. So let's go into the blog. All right. So I think this is the meeting that the voice of TBC just finished. Now, I wouldn't want to go ahead and go through it again and again. No. On your own, you could take your time to read through. Admin has made it obvious here. So on your own, Take your time to read through. I think it's 23 minutes. Wow, it's very short. I must commend Randy Wilson. He has been very consistent and he has made sure that he limits his time between 25 to 30 minutes. I think it's a very good one. So congratulations on that, Randy Wilson. So for those of us who do not know, this is the 2019 meeting. I'm sorry, 2019 promo for cookies. And the admin actually did this. And I believe that by tomorrow morning, there will be an upgrade on the system. Let's quickly go into Kringle Cache. Now, on the Kringle Cache, let me log in. Now, I've logged in. Since morning, this number has been the same. I think they are doing some upgrades. I believe that between now and tomorrow, that upgrade should be completed. Well, now, what I wanted to point out is this. There has been an upgrade on this part, and then will be distributed by the end of May 2019. I also believe that this Bitcoin will be removed, and it will be replaced with Kringles very soon, maybe by tomorrow when their upgrades are over. Now, this is what I wanted to call your attention to. At this point, this particular thing, when you click on it, it takes you to the old one. And this one is the one that was done last year, November. Now, I hope that this will be reviewed. And then once it is reviewed and you click on it, what happens is that it will bring you to this one. Of course, I believe that the supports are working on it. So it's not so long. Make your time out, read through it. Okay? I think I will stop here. The final thing I would have to say before I go, for those of us who do not know, the Billion Coin Academy is like every other system where you can learn and understand how to build, how to grow, how to learn to work with the TBC community. Now, it's a simple thing. You can become a member in the Billion Coin Academy. We specifically teach you on how to cash flow. That's exactly what we do. We teach you on how to do cash flow, as simple as that. When we teach you how to do cash flow, you come in, understand what the system is all about, and then you learn how to do cash flow. If you are interested, feel free. All you need to do is come here and sign up. Put in your full name, put in your email address, put in your phone number, put in the class you want to come into. Introductory classes, master's class, or advanced learners. It's up to you, okay? On your own, you could take your time, look through the system, understand the system. As simple as that, okay? Now, the website is the Billion Coin Academy. As simple as that, okay? If you're interested, you could feel free, go to the bottom. When you get to the bottom of the video, you are going to see my link. If you want to register to become a member within the TBC community, feel free, click on my link. My phone number is there. Feel free, you could contact me on WhatsApp. If you're in Nigeria, you could give me a call, and then I could enlighten you further, all right? I think I will stop here. Thank you very much for audience. You guys are the best. And okay, there was one person that came online. Wow, thanks for being online. Mausa, I'm not sure if I spelled your name well, but thanks for being online. So please feel free, if you're interested in learning more about the system, you could come in through the Billion Coin Academy. My details are below. You could feel free, contact me, discuss with me on WhatsApp, discuss with me on Facebook, discuss with me however you want. I want to also help to contribute to your own self within the TBC community. We have a long way to go, I know, but one thing is sure, patience will take us there. All right? Thank you very much, Mr. Mosa, and for everyone that will also watch this video, please don't forget to give me a thumbs up. I sincerely do appreciate your time. God bless you very well. And do have a wonderful night rest. We are in the later times of the day or later times of the night in Nigeria. So I think I should say good night. God bless you. Till meet again next time. Bye for now.